Evidence suggests that the usage of LLMs is accelerating an already ongoing process of cognitive offloading, where human users delegate critical thinking, deductiveness, writing, problem solving, and the whole process of putting together one's reasoning processes to AI systems, leading to a significantly reduced intellectual agency, potential atrophy of human reasoning skills, and inherently a process by which the brain actually shrinks over time. So yes, intimate, everyday, companionship-oriented AI is making us stupider. Personally, I'm not against AI development at all, which I think instead should be actually enhanced. But AI systems as products proposed without any parallel educational infrastructure aimed at producing in-depth cognitive orientations is the right path to cognitive apocalypse. Humanity has always had a problem with stupidity. A problem that unfortunately has never been approached seriously via in-depth inquiries and dialogues, and has rather been shielded as a taboo, as well as kept as the elephant in the room kind of thing that should not be discussed. Today, we added to this problem even a new element of nourishment, creating something that was meant to enhance human life in every sense, including the psychological one, but that instead appears to be developing itself in the opposite direction. That is a stupidization of the modern mind. While LLMs can increase productivity and sometimes efficiency too, studies indicate that extensive reliance on them can lead to metacognitive laziness and a decrease in independent critical thought, rather than a raise in human intelligence. Among key findings on LLM impact on average cognition, there is the problem with the cognitive atrophy and laziness. Research indeed, including studies cited by the MIT Media Lab, indicates that extensive use of generative AI for academic or just mere routine work can reduce brain activity and critical thinking effort compared to conventional work on analogous tasks. Another finding is the Google effect turbocharged. Just as pocket calculators in the 50s raised fears of losing one's mathematical skills, at least the basic ones, a fear that later materialized actually, and GPS reduced the spatial awareness by eroding the intellectual abilities to understand a map, and of course basic orientation skills. Equally, the same way, today, LLMs are causing something somehow similar, but much more rapid, a much faster offloading of reasoning and writing processing. Reasoning and even speaking colloquial skills are eroded, allowing users to avoid challenging mental tasks. Lowered, much lowered critical effort is another effect. While relying on LLMs, human cognitive effort shifts from active problem solving or understanding to passive, lazy, and unsupervised pseudo verification based on mere AI responses and AI responses integration. Another effect is reduced argumentation skills. A loss and deterioration in the ability to argument, to create arguments, and to fabricate argumentations, not necessarily intellectual ones. University studies have found that students, for instance, using LLMs for research, or even just for writing, experienced reduced cognitive load, but produced work with lower reasoning, less nuance, and lower quality argumentation compared to traditional methods. Understanding the matter of outsourcing agency and its dynamics is essential nowadays, as we are entering a critical phase where from now on all parts of our lives where AI systems are involved will become increasingly more and more complex to handle and comprehend. Human interfacing with LLMs, especially when done with low metacognitive skills, accelerates the process of outsourcing of human agency because generative large language models can generate a polished, grammatically correct, and quite complex content, allowing users to merely copy-paste without scrutiny and with no understanding at all of the underlying concepts that are generated. This creates a vibe code or a wobble effect, where the volume of content increases, and so does the apparent quality, but the depth and genuine human judgment behind it diminishes, and more often is not even present at all. The potential consequences of this phase are really serious. Among them, there is a not too slow process of deskilling brains and minds, where people may find themselves increasingly unable to perform fundamental tasks, even psychological tasks, without AI assistance. Tasks as simple as what view and opinion shall I have about this particular situation? Another alarming consequence can be the homogenization of thoughts, coming into being because LLMs are trained on similar data and tend to provide similar answers. Over-reliance can in fact easily reduce creativity and result therefore in homogenized, formulaic output. My advice, therefore, is always the same. Before you outsource your thinking to external sources of information creation or information delivery, and not only AIs, but also podcasts, algorithmically proposed contents, etc., make an effort to think for yourself. Take your time to ponder what types of proclivities and reactions your brain is producing. how your brain is responding to the information you are welcoming in. Slow down the cognitive processes and examine what you can do to find out for yourself without the interference of your beliefs, your views, your feelings, and your existing ideations.